Okay, hello everyone. This week I am going to be showing you my Dragon Slayer deck for the Wyvern card game. Dragon Slayers are very powerful in the game, so they had to come up with multiple ways to deal with them, to stop them. And a Dragon Slayer deck became a hard deck to play in Wyvern. It is a really cool deck and it's really fun to play it. But I remember when I used to play a lot, and I'm trying to get back into Wyvern now. It was hard to make this work because if there's no face-up dragon, you can't slay a dragon. If your whole deck is based on dragon slaying, you don't want to get into a battle with dragons. When you use a dragon slayer, you skip your battle phase, so no attacking, no swapping out. And your deck doesn't have battle action cards. This deck has 2 battle action cards in it, which I'll go over. But you're not able to fight dragons. You really don't want to get into a battle with dragons. So the deck, for the most part, is terrains. There's 4 dragons and 16 terrains. So in one sense, this is a terrain deck, but it really is a Dragon Slayer deck. I have a terrain deck, which I will be showing here in the upcoming weeks. So dragon slaying is somewhat tricky because if you don't have a face-up dragon, you can't slay it unless you have the card Seth, which I am using. I was going to use Zeus. Let me just zoom in on it right here. No scouts can attack this turn to stop my opponent, since I'm running 16 terrains, to at least slow down my opponent from attacking with scouts. I chose not to do that. I'm going to not go with Zeus. I'm also not going with my standard gold dig plus 1 mixed quaddle and 3 fields of gold. I don't need to generate gold in this deck as nearly as much as other decks. This other card I wanted to show you, Avalon, is a card that if I was considering it, let's put it that way, and if I put it in the deck, then I would put back the gold digs and the mixed quaddle plus 3 fields of gold to generate gold, because this thing costs 4 gold. And I'm just going to sit down and just read this real quickly here. Well, not real quickly, it's a lot of text. Place Avalon face up in a vacant battlefield position. Immediately place the top card from your Dragon Lair draw pile face down on top of Avalon. You may not voluntarily replace the card that is on Avalon. When the card is destroyed, Avalon is discarded. So this gives you potentially up to 4 more battle positions, which sounds like it would be good in any deck. But in a Dragon Slayer deck where I'm not wanting to attack, if my opponent keeps killing my terrains with scouts, this gets back that position, which stalls out the game, gives me time to get my Dragon Slayers to work. Now, in order to make this, so that this is a possible build, but I'm not going with it right now. So in order to get my Dragon Slayer deck to work, one, I need to get the cost reduced, otherwise I will run out of gold fast. And I need to get my opponent to attack, or at least get his card turned up. So I'm going to show you how this deck is going to try to do that. And I do have 1 native terrain dragon, because I'll be swapping. I will at times be swapping out cards, especially when you don't have a Dragon Slayer a target. You have no choice but to attack or swap out. And I'll almost always swap out. Okay, let's just go over this deck no, I don't know how about quick, but we're going to go over it here. So the first thing is I'm running 4 Valhallas. Valhalla says any Dragon Slayer played by any player costs 0 gold to play as long as Valhalla is in play. Now, the reason I'm running 4 of them, you don't need multiples of them, is I need 1 of them in play. And if it gets destroyed, hopefully I can have another one in my hand and I can get it into play as well. I would probably not play the second one unless I was going to use Meteor Shower and would rather have 2 in play than just end up discarding it. But Valhalla makes this deck very affordable, very easy to play gold-wise. Okay, so 1 Hercules. There are several dragons in this game, which you will run into that are immune to Dragon Slayers. Running 1 Hercules with one Volcanic Eruption gives you the potential to play this card twice. Play on a face-up dragon that is immune to Dragon Slayers. It's no longer immune to Dragon Slayers. If the dragons turn face down, then Hercules goes away. Village would get rid of Hercules. It's another use. But this is how I can slay a dragon that I can't normally slay. It's pretty much a needed card. Okay. Possibly the best Dragon Slayer in this deck is Seth. You would think it would be Jason. I'm running 4 Jason. Kills any dragon. I think it should say Jason slays any dragon, but that's just me. No big deal. Seth is really interesting. For 2 gold, your Dragon Slayer, it says Seth attacks an opponent's face down card. Turn the attacked card face up. If it's a terrain card, it is discarded, which I don't know if it should have said destroyed, because the terrain is discarded. It's gone. They lose that position. It's not replaced. If it's a dragon, it stays face up and is not paid for. Now, you could say that's bad, but I have just turned up one of my opponent's dragons. They'll either have to swap it out, turn it down, or try to attack with it and take out one of my positions before I slay it, which will hopefully be the following turn. So Seth really works well because it gets rid of terrains. Terrains are a problem in a dragon slaying deck. That's another problem with trying to make this deck work, is what do you do about terrains? So you can use scouts. But you can't attack if you used your Dragon Slayer. And you can't swap out either. And I'm running a native terrain dragon, so I need to swap out. And we'll go over that. All right. 2 or 3, hold on. 1, 2, 3. 3 Galahads, 3 Sir Lancelot. Galahad slays any dragon 4 or more. Straighten those out. And Sir Lancelot slays any dragon 3 or less. So I think I'm running 17 Dragon Slayers in this deck. 4, 8, 17, yeah. Okay, so that covers every dragon, and 3 of each is a pretty good rate. I'm choosing to go with 2 Cadmus. Maybe I should go with 4 and 4 rather than 3, 3, and 2 Cadmus. But Cadmus gets rid of any flying dragon, so I think it's right, but I'm not sure. And lastly, I'm going to go with 1 St. George. For one reason is simply that I have 1 card that can get rid of my opponent's treasure if I needed to for some reason. There's a terrain in here called Swamp of Lernia. If one of my opponent's dragons hits my Swamp of Lernia, St. George can slay that dragon. Any Dragon Slayer can slay any dragon if it has a Swamp of Lernia on it. So that's another reason he's in here. It's just 1 shot at getting rid of a treasure. Okay, here's the Volcanic Eruption for Dragon Slayers. For 2 gold, action, return any Dragon Slayer card from your treasure hoard discard pile to your hand. It's an excellent card. I'm running 3. Maybe I should run 4, but I'm running 3. And 1 Volcanic Eruption, which can get back any card from my discard pile. So pretty necessary to run those cards. You're going to need them. You're going to need to get stuff back. Hercules might need to get back Hercules at some point. I'm going with 3 King Arthur. Not sure if I should run 2 or 4 or if 3 is right. So we're going to start with 3. 2 gold, action. Any Dragon Slayer played this turn cannot be countered with a reaction card. So clearly, if your opponent is playing Magnetic Field, and they almost certainly are, or Kiss of La Succube is another thing that just gets, counters the Dragon Slayer. King Arthur stops that. Now, they can counter King Arthur, but that's fine. If they do that, I'd rather they do that than counter my Dragon Slayer. Now I'm running 8 cards. In addition to the 4 sets, I'm running 8 cards that force my opponent to attack, thereby turning up his dragon. Now, he could attack with a scout. However, play during opponent's turn. This is Sirens. Play during opponent's turn. Opponent must attack with a face-down dragon if possible. If he can't attack with a face-down dragon, he must replace a card in his battlefield. So if he's got a scout and he was going to attack with a scout, I play Sirens. He can't attack with that face-up scout. He could attack with a face-down scout, and that would be sad, but you know, things happen. Then I'm running 4 Turn the Tables, which is a very similar card, but it says you decide which card of yours gets attacked this turn. Opponent must attack if possible. So he can attack with anything, but he has to attack the card that I'm picking. So that is a very cool card. Now, one of the key cards of this deck, to be able to swap out cards and still do a Dragon Slayer, is the card Town. You may replace 2 dragon or terrain cards in your battlefield this turn and still do a Dragon Slayer action or a battle phase. Town really helps make your deck work. I'm also running 4 Meteor Showers. I pretty much run 4 Meteor Showers in every deck. Just about. There might be one that I don't, but I haven't run into it yet. All players discard their hands and draw 5 cards from their treasure hoard draw pile. It's a crazy common card. Now, I have 2 battle action cards. For those times when I get into a battle, I didn't want to get into a battle with a dragon because I have no way to fight the dragon. Badger, 2 gold, battle action. Trade hands with your opponent until the end of this battle. If this resolves, as long as I don't have both badgers in my hand, I wouldn't play this card if I had both badgers in my hand. I can play all of their battle actions, and they can have no cards in my hand that they can use. So I should be able to win that battle if that happens. And that's the only reason Badger's in this deck. Okay, the Dragon Lair. This is my alternative to winning. If I can't win through Dragon Slaying, hopefully Miasma will do it. He is a native terrain dragon, 2 gold, strength 0, native terrain swamp ×2. For those of you who don't know, every swamp that's in your discard pile gives Miasma 2 points of strength. If the swamp is on a dragon, if Miasma attacks that dragon, that gives Miasma 2 points of strength. I'm running 1 scout, just in case I need a scout for some reason. I'm only running 1. Delphyne is a nice one. Flying Scout gets me 1 card from my treasure hoard every time I discover a terrain. Hopefully I never have to use that, but it's there just in case. So 4 swamps. There's 12 swamp terrains in this deck. 4 Swamp of Lernia, a key card, especially if I can get my opponent to attack this card with a non-scout. Perfect. A dragon in the Swamp of Lernia may be killed by any Dragon Slayer, regardless of what the Dragon Slayer card says. So St. George can slay you now. And then 4 Swamp Holes, which kills dragons of 2 or less strength. In the regular game of Wyvern, if the dragon that hits the terrain does not apply, so it's a dragon of 3 or more strength, it would destroy the terrain. We think that's a bad rule, so we change the rule. If the terrain doesn't apply, the terrain is swapped out, not destroyed. That makes every terrain in this game a playable terrain. You don't have to worry about a non-scout destroying your terrain. I think that makes much more sense. If you disagree and you think that's a bad rule, feel free to leave a comment and let us know why. Then I'm running some killer terrains. 2 pits kills dragons of 3 or less strength. 1 frozen lake kills dragons of 4 or more strength. And 1 hurricane kills any flying dragon. And then the two dragons that are in every deck I make, Lambton Wurm, because he gets you back a battle position. You can pay, whoops, getting my finger in the way. You can pay 1 gold to remove Lambton Wurm from your Dragon Lair discard pile back on the table face down. You can only do this once. So I swap out Lambton Wurm or he's killed. Next turn, I can bring him back, swap him out again, and I get back a treasure position. I don't know why you'd ever make a deck and not include Lambton Wurm. Same with Basilisk. Basilisk kills himself and any other dragon in a battle. No action cards are played in a battle with Basilisk. It also said in errata that there are no winners or losers in a battle with Basilisk. Therefore, you cannot use Fountain of Youth to save your dragon. This, according to what I remember reading, it's a long time ago, but I'm pretty sure I'm right about that. It just automatically kills both dragons. So that's a very powerful card. You should always run it. So that is the deck. Dragon Slaying is a fun deck to try to make work. Totally worth trying to build it. If you would build it differently, let me know in the comments. Wyvern has a Facebook page if you'd like to talk to other Wyvern players. They're on Facebook. I'm sure they're in other outlets as well. I'm in Chicago if anybody would like to play Wyvern. We're always looking for another Wyvern player. And if you would like me to make a video of your deck, just list your deck in the comments. And if I have all the cards, I will make a video of your deck as well. And I will be posting this in the Facebook page as well. I hope you guys enjoyed my Dragon Slayer deck, and possibly we'll get a video of me playing this deck or someone playing this deck at some point here, hopefully. Talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.